Alright, what's going on everyone out there on YouTube? NES Ruler, and welcome to a brand new review. And this time we'll be checking out a film that was sent to me to review by Severin Films, and you can pick this up right now on Blu-ray. And it's a film from the year 1976, and it comes from the wonderful country of Canada, and that is the film Cathy's Curse. I apologize if I am sniffling and my eyes are watering. It's starting to get warmer here in Chicago, and that means allergy season, so I'm not feeling that hot today, but we shall continue with the review. So Cathy's Curse. So what can I say about Cathy's Curse? So this film has always had a really crappy transfer going around with this film. It was on a lot of multi-packs, and there's bootlegs and things like that going around for years. And there was no really good way to view this film until now with Severin, who has released this really fantastic edition of this film. And you know Severin, they always put their heart and soul into every single film that they release. And I think this film has a huge potential to be a release of the year candidate. Not because of the film, because the film is this, I'm not sure if I like the film. It's a very bizarre and strange movie, so I'm not entirely sure if I like the film. But based on the transfer and the features and everything that has to go with this release, makes it just a really fantastic package. So like I said, the film came out in 1976, was made in Canada, in Montreal, and it was done by a French crew who came over from France like they typically did back in the day. A lot of these crews came over from overseas over to North America and shot these movies. So it was a French crew, and you know that ultimately is going to lead to a bizarre film. So the film takes place, it starts off in 1947. We follow this little girl and her father as they are driving on this icy highway, and they ultimately crash their car, and they both end up burning and dying. So we flash forward to the present day, or 1976, and we follow the brother of the little girl who was killed in the car crash back in 1947, and he has a wife who is not completely there. She's a little bit crazy, and her daughter Cathy, and they move back into their family's house that they lived in when he was a child with the girl that died in the car accident, aka her sister. So one day Cathy goes up to the attic of this house, and she comes across this doll that used to be her father's sister's doll, and there's this painting on the wall with I guess you would say her aunt, and it ultimately possesses Cathy, and strange things start to happen, and Cathy is just a really interesting character. The dialogue in this film is absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The things Cathy says throughout this movie is hilarious. She has such a dirty mouth, and it's so funny to see a 12-year-old say some of these things that are coming out of her mouth. But she is so good in this movie. Randy Allen, who plays Cathy, she's just fantastic. She just has this kind of aurora around her that she is just a fascinating person to watch, and she's a really great actress. And she never really done anything after this. You know, this was a one-time thing. She was in this movie, and that was pretty much about it. But I'll get into that in a second in the features, where there's some really great interviews. But basically things start to go, haywire. Is Cathy crazy? Is she possessed? Is she not possessed? And her father's trying to figure out, and her mother believes that Cathy's possessed, but because she's crazy, no one believes her. And it's just a whole bunch of cat and mouse type of things if Cathy is really crazy or not. And that's basically about it. And like I said, it's a very strange movie. It's not really over the top in the sense of effects and gore and kind of things like that. It's more of a psychological horror film, but it's weird in a sense. I can't really explain it in words how this movie plays out, but it's definitely one that you have to see for yourself. And like I said, I haven't really decided if I like it or if I don't like it. It's just one that's going to have to sit in my mind for a while until I decide my overall opinions on if I would, enjoy this movie again in the future. But like I said, this package is where it comes in. The transfer on this is absolutely fantastic, and anybody who has seen the film back in the day on a bootleg or a multi-pack will know that the film has looked really, really bad for many years, but this looks awesome. The transfer is great, especially in some of the lighter scenes. They really cleaned it up. It looks really, 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 really good. So I highly recommend you pick this up for the transfer. And then there's 2 cuts on this release. We have the director's cut, which comes in at about 93 minutes. And then we have the alternative US cut, which comes in at 82 minutes. And, it's just, cut in certain places and things like that. Of course, I watched the director's cut the way that the film should have been seen. So, yeah, you got that. And then you have an interview with Randy Allen, who's Cathy, and her mom, Joyce Allen, who is actually the costume person in the film. And we just learn about how she got the role of the film and everything that goes on during production. It's like a 12-minute featurette, but it's really, really fascinating because, like I said, she hasn't really done anything since this film, and she just went on her merry way living a normal life. So they see her come back all these years later, which is, almost 40 years, 41 years later. It's just really, really fascinating. And then we have a interview with the director, who, he's French, so his English isn't the best, but it's still a really fascinating interview. It's like 25 minutes long or so. Really, really great stuff. Like I said, these are all brand new features. And then we have a commentary on the U.S. cut only by Birth Movie Deck's film critic Brian Collins and filmmaker Simon Barrett. And then we have an introduction to a screening of this film that they did, and it's just an interesting Q&A. It's not that long, but it's interesting. And then we got the trailer. So like I said, overall, a really, really fantastic package, once again, by Severin Films. For a really bizarre and obscure film. If you're into that kind of stuff, if you're into grindhouse, low-budget productions, Exorcist, Omen type films, then you'll definitely dig Cathy's Curse. Strange movie. And like I said, you can pick this up right now on Blu-ray and DVD from Severin Films. So that is my review of Cathy's Curse from the year 1976. Thanks, everybody, for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRuler22. Hope everybody's doing well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys.